In this video, we're going to look at backing up a Moodle course and downloading that file to your local computer. So if you log into your Moodle course, you want to go to the backup link, which is right in the middle of your administrator panel on the left-hand side of the screen. I'm going to go ahead and click on backup. Now I have some choices here. On the left-hand side, most of these things are my content, and on the right-hand side is user data. If you want to keep all the user files that have been uploaded and that information, go ahead and leave checks in all this at the top here. If you don't want the student information included, you can click none here and uncheck all of the user data. I'm going to go ahead and leave that attached so I have a complete backup of my course. Then I'm going to scroll down here and we have some other options to choose. I have some options about whether or not I want to include the users, and I include all the users, the course users, or none. I'm just going to go ahead and keep the defaults here of course. If I want to keep the logs for the course, I can say yes, and I'm going to select that. I have user files. Once again, at the top I've told it to save the user files. So I'm going to go ahead and take yes. Course files, yes, those are the files in your My Files area. And then site files used in this course. These would be files that are out on the main Moodle site that you've linked to. If those are included in your course, then those will be included as well. And I can keep the grade histories. I'm going to go ahead and do that as well from the grade book. And then I'm going to go ahead and let it back up all the teacher roles if there's been any, or user roles. If there's been any customization that has been done, it will go ahead and keep that. I'm going to go ahead and just go ahead and leave those selected. Click continue. Now it's showing me how many submissions are included and other information here. But the very top of the screen is the important part. That is the file name that's going to be attached to this file. If you edit that file name, you want to make sure that it has a zip extension, a ZIP extension after the dot. So whatever file name you put in, you want to put in a .zip at the end. Otherwise, you could get an error as you go to complete. So then I'm going to go ahead and scroll down here to the bottom of the page and click continue. And it's working its way through the file right now, through the course, creating that backup file. And since this is orientation, it has several thousand users in it. This log file can get fairly big. So you're not nearly going to have as much information in a regular course as this orientation site has. Now it's continued on down. Now it's going to go copy the user files. And once again, this process is taking longer since this has a lot of users in it with a lot of submissions. Okay, now it says it's completed successfully. Click continue. And now it's taking me over to my files area, which is available through the administrator panel. You click on files. There's a folder called backup data. We'll look at how to get there from the administrator panel in a minute. But here's my actual course right here. And I have some options over here to the right. You see it's 21 megabytes in size. I can unzip that file, so if I wanted to restore it, I could be able to unzip it. If I want to extract something, I can unzip it. Then I've got a place here where I can restore the file, rename the file. So if you have a naming convention you want to use and you didn't rename it early on, you can rename it once it's here. To download it, all I need to do is click on the file, and it's going to pop up and prompt me to save it. And I'm going to go ahead and place that on my desktop. It may be that you want to save this into a flash drive, or you want to save it in the My Documents area, whatever your organization is for your backup files. That's fine. The process is going to be the same. But I'm just going to go ahead and save it to the desktop. And as that downloads, I'm going to click back on the screen here, I can also right click and tell it to save the target as. And once again, I have the ability to save my file this way. Since it's already saving to the desktop, I'm not going to save it again, but this is the other way you can save it. You can either click right on the file and be prompted to save it, or you can right click on it and tell it to save the target as. And this is something in Blackboard you can't always do this, but it seems to work every time in Moodle that you'll be able to save it in this format. If you see something that comes up here other than a zip document, then you know something isn't downloading correctly. So you'll want to just go ahead and click on that file instead of right clicking on it. But so definitely make sure it has a zip extension on it. Now, there isn't a lot of use of saving numerous backups on the server. Part of the idea of archiving it and downloading it is so that you have copies off the server in case something would happen, or that you want to take this course somewhere else. So there's not a need to keep multiple files out here. In fact, it just takes up more storage space. So if you want to reduce the number of files you have there, you can click on that file, put a check in the little checkbox in front of it, and then go down and tell it to delete it completely. And that will remove it. And there's nothing wrong with keeping a copy or two there, but there's really no need, if you've downloaded them and they're secure on your local computer, to leave multiple copies on the server. Now, I told you I'd show you how to get to those files once again from the administrator panel. So let's go back to the main course page. And in the administration panel, if I go down to the files link and click on it, you'll notice I have a backup data folder right here. And if I click on that, that would take me into the folder that contains the backups. Now, I've already deleted the backup, but you can see here the restore log was in that previous screen and we are looking at the backup file. So that's the process of backing up your course and downloading it to your computer in Moodle.